Okay.
Right, I'm with Cece. He's out shopping for toilet paper!
I'm on a hunt for toilet paper. This is like the incompetence. This is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm searching for toilet paper. I have 2 rolls left. This is the apocalypse.
Oh, you got sent something to you today, didn't you? That you think you think it's, what do you think it is, NCC?
Okay, I knew the carnivore virus is complete bullshit to begin with anyway. I knew it. I came out way too quickly. Think about it. When we first heard about this virus, it was in China. Okay? That was like 5 days. It just completely exploded throughout the entire country, at least in the U.S. I don't know about your country, but it just exploded from state to state to state to state. The next thing that you knew, 7 days later, every single state in the U.S. has it. How could that be? People are not traveling that much. Okay, I don't buy it. I mean, I know people travel, but they're not traveling from state to state. We now have 50 states completely covered with the carnivore virus, which is, I mean, it's impossible for it to move that way. But I was told to look for white vans. Okay, and I've been checking it out here in my area. All the schools are closed, so the schools are like, if you go there in the morning, the public schools, a lot of the parents rely on food, their meals. So in the morning, I think what they're doing is they're handing out bags of meals for the kids. I'm surprised they're even doing that. And then that's it. They just shut the school down until the next day, I guess, because they've delivered all their packages.
Right.
But somebody told me, white vans. Like I spoke to you yesterday. Somebody just captured it. I am going to put a link. I put a link on Hangouts to you. Take a look at it.
Okay.
A series of white vans in front of this high school. They're all telecommunication vans. Okay, telecommunication, there's no reason for them to be there at the school. They're not fixing any telephones or anything like that. And I think that's the key. I think that's why they closed the school systems. The restaurants and everything else, that's different. That just happens to be they're getting hit.
Yeah, the fallout of the rest.
Yeah, exactly. They just happen to be there, so they're gonna.
But why would they put all those things on children's schools?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue. All I know, it's very dangerous. It's on a 60 megahertz, I think, or gigahertz wave length, which is not healthy for the body. It's worse than what we have now. Maybe it could be scrambling their heads. I don't know. I really don't know. I have to look more into this 5G network. But they said this, remember, about the 4G network, too. And nothing came up out of that. I mean, I don't feel sick. I mean, it hasn't affected me at all. But apparently the 5G network does, for some reason or another, I think it might have something to do with your the water in your H2O. Somebody left a comment the other day about that, and that could make sense, that it could be dehydrating it, and that brings down our immune system, and we're more susceptible for getting sick. So I don't know. I can't believe they'd be that evil, but look at NASA. Really.
Yeah. Well, we're just an experiment to them, aren't we?
Yeah, we're guinea pigs, it seems like to me. I mean, everything is just completely a joke, and it's just it's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, it's. I'm gonna look for these vans. I have a link. I'll link it. I was gonna do a video and put it in my thing, or maybe I'll just mirror his video.
Yeah, you saw I put your toilet roll one out, didn't you?
What's that? Oh yeah. Thanks. I saw you pick that video up.
Yeah, I just saw that. I like what you said, so I thought that. So I put the worldwide toilet paper crisis.
Nice. Well, that's how it is. It's mayhem here. I mean, they've turned us into animals. Basically. I mean, they've taken everything away from us. Just the basic essentials, and it's so funny how they're mocking all of us.
How could hand sanitizer be a basic, basic thing that you need? You don't need that. That's just turned up in the last couple of years. We got here all right without it.
Yeah, I know. Hey, look, everybody should have bidets. Maybe we should all go out and invest in bidets, because I mean, they're not very comfortable. I use one when I was in Europe.
You don't think they're going to be doing something with toilet rolls, do you? That we're getting something else coming out of this? So it won't be toilet rolls. We'll get another item.
Yeah, no, the next crisis, they'll take something else out that we really need. Toothpaste maybe next time? Toothbrushes? What's something that we need on a daily basis?
Bin bags. Bin bag shortage.
Well, they've taken our plastic bags away from us. They did that a couple of weeks ago. You no longer can get a plastic bag in New York State. They banned those from New York State. So it's a real pain in the ass going to the supermarket now. You got to bring your own bag. You got to have it. If you forget it, then you got to pay 10 cents for a paper bag. Paper bags don't have any handles on them. So it seems like they're slowly taking everything away from us. The plastic bags I can't understand because they do cause a lot of garbage around the area, and I don't see them as much anymore. I used to see them up in the trees. You used to see them flying across the street.
Do you know what I don't understand about that, Cece? It's like we go to the plastic supermarket to get our plastic food. All the supermarkets and the shops give us the plastic bags, and then we have to pay to get rid of them. So everybody wins except the person, because you're always paying to get rid of it.
Yeah, no,
buying
I know.
it, getting rid of it.
That's ridiculous.
Mm.
We just throw them in the trash when we had them. But I have a whole collection of them. I mean, I just saved there. I just used to throw a plastic bag in a drawer just to keep it around. So I got a bunch of them still, but I'm going to run out of those. And once those are gone, that's it. There's nothing. You don't have plastic bags.
That's it. Do you know what? We hated plastic, and then there's going to be a shortage of plastic.
I know. Everything's made out of plastic. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. But again, I am gonna monitor my area now and on a daily basis because I have time. I mean, I'm not working every day now, unfortunately. I can't work out of my house, not in my profession. I have to be outside, working. So, I have more time now on my hands. I can go scout these places out. And the minute I see something, I'm going to go live and I'm going to call these people up and I'm going to call them out and find out what they're doing.
So you think this is a cover up for them putting 5G on?
Absolutely. If they wanted to do something, what better way of doing it? It's genius. It's great. Make everybody think there's a virus, lock them in their house, and then they're not looking, they're not searching, they're not.
Yeah, but they're crashing the economy at the same time. So what are we getting then? It's gonna, all businesses made room for this, did they? For this great big crash? I don't think so.
Well, that's why I know what's going to happen. I mean, it's just going to come back, and it's going to come back like gangbusters, and the market's going to go right back to where it was. I don't think this is going to last very long. I think they're going to do what they have to do, and they want what they're doing, and then once they're finished, that's it. Virus is done, capped off, no problem, go back to the restaurant.
You don't think they're hooking us into HARP, do you?
HARP? Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot about that stuff.
5G is HARP, that's what I mean.
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard too. Yeah, and it might be connected.
Have you? I just came to the top of my head because most countries have HARP, and everybody that has HARP is one of them.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I was just wondering whether they're trying to hook us into the HARP.
It could be. It could be. I mean, this is all new. I mean, this is stuff that I really have to look into and investigate why they'd be putting this in schools of all places.
I know, schools. I don't get it with the little children. What do they want to do to the little children?
I don't know, but it seems like that's what they're doing. I mean, that's what, the minute I see a bunch of white vans out in front of a school that have telecommunication lettering on them, I mean, really, if you can't see that, then you might as well just go back under the rock that you crawled out from because you are asleep and you're a sheep. And
so what do you think about, I put a video out myself yesterday. It was called it was before that one. It was called World Collapse March 2020. And in it, people making these posts that all these actors and that are getting arrested. So what do they have to do with it?
What do you mean, the actors are going to... I didn't see that. What are they...
Yeah, actors, the Pope, all these people, COs, they're all going to be going. They're all being arrested.
Oh, what do you mean, for the Weinstein stuff? That Weinstein...
Well, no, it's all clumped in with the Corona. It's all clumped in with Corona.
Oh, I have to take a look at it. I didn't even take a look at that video. Yeah, I have to look at that, and I'll let you know. I mean, I didn't even know they were being arrested at all. I have no idea. I mean, hey, look, these Hollywood actors are all, as far as I'm concerned, they're sold their souls. So I don't know why they'd be against anything. All they have to do is just hide in their
In that
$25
video,
million.
I catch up with France, right, and they've gone on lockdown, and she's saying about how everybody's got to stay in their house and self-isolate. But in the background, you can hear the hum of the traffic.
I think we spoke about this yesterday. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could hear the
there's
traffic.
A line about that.
You know, there's a hum
Yeah,
the
you can
traffic
hear the
makes.
traffic in the background. Yeah, I'm sure that's not the military doing that. That's just regular people driving to work or whatever.
So it's not on lockdown then, is it?
No, I'm sure it's not. I haven't heard anybody locked down yet.
France says it's locked down. Italy's locked down. Spain is locked down. I have heard from Spanish people that they've got to stay in their houses.
Well, rumor has it Canada is going to be locking down, but I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, does that mean they're just going to put you're not allowed in the country or you're not allowed out of the country if you're in there right now? Because I'm sure there are Americans there that are just on vacation.
But that's a bit strange. I remember when that volcano might be Iceland erupted and it grounded the planes for 2 weeks. I just got such a bad feeling about it. Like, even then I was thinking something else is happening here because they were saying the dust could stop the engine, so they stopped well.
Oh, yeah. It does that to the cars, sure.
But they've done it again. They've stopped the air again. And businesses won't be able to cope with it.
Yeah, no, they want to see what, but this isn't the end. It's not finished. There's something else coming. I don't know what it is, but I know there's something else coming. This is just the beginning of what they're doing. They might stop for a while. They might not do anything for a year, but I know this is just the beginning of something big. No, but that's just the way I feel. But with the 5G network, is that what they're putting in the school systems? I'm not 100% sure, but those white vans shouldn't be there. Those schools
I know, but they haven't even tested it properly.
No, they haven't. I don't even know exactly what it is. They don't even have phones yet with a 5G network that I know of. I think Verizon is just...
This is probably how we disappeared before. This is why there's all the children left.
Who knows? Could be. Could be. I don't know. I mean, this is all new. I never thought that they would have something to do with the school systems. Why? I never understood why.
Because what you do is you make a virus, right? And then you have everybody frightened for their children. I mean, Boris said something about, so we didn't really want to do this, but we're having to stop the children go to school. We really didn't want the extra burden on the NHS and the rest. And you're thinking, if children don't go to school, what, do they go to the hospital then? Because what difference does that make, having the NHS and other places? Like, hang on a minute, we're talking about children. They don't even shop.
I know. Well, mine's studying at home now. I mean, they have all of the curriculum now online, so she's doing it all online, and she's got to finish it. It's like she's in school right now, basically. And the weird thing is, it's almost like these corporations are gonna say to themselves, "Hey, shit, why do we even have offices?" As far as I always thought of that too. I mean, if you work in a corporation, half the stuff that they do, you don't need to get an office to be doing it. You can do it from your own house. So I mean, maybe these corporations will finally wake up and say, "Hey, look, these people can work from their house. Why do we have such overhead of this enormous 50-story building that we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on when we don't need it? We just need a few people."
But then what happens if businesses do that? The economy will still go down, because imagine a big exodus on big buildings now in New York. It just topple it over.
It'll never happen. They're always going to have us get up at 8 o'clock, go drive to your job, sit behind a cubicle. It'll never happen. But, I mean, for now, it's convenient for them. They have everybody home. Most people can do their work. Unfortunately, I can't. My work is not, I'm not in that profession. I have to be out there doing it.
Can I say something? What does have you listened into any of Trump? Because obviously that's the first one I listened to, Boris, where he's locking down the schools.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Trump at all. I really haven't been watching the news. I got kind of into it during the weekend, and it was getting me too paranoid. I couldn't watch it anymore. It was just...
Because it makes you feel like that, because your conscience goes, this is an absolute load of rubbish, something else is happening. And then someone comes up to you and goes, oh my God, the throat, there's this, there's that, corona, and you're like, is it real? And then you fight with, it's not real and it must be real, it can't be real, it is real. It goes like round your head.
I know, and that's what I was going through over the weekend. I think they got me for 24 hours where I thought it was real. Hey, look, maybe there is a flu. There's always a flu. We're in flu season. Everybody gets the flu here in New York. Okay, it's flu season for
But it's
another
not the
month.
coldest now, is it though, Cece? I mean, that virus, I watched
No.
one and it said it lives in your nose passages because in the winter, because it's so cold, your nose isn't particularly warm. So that's why it can live there. But I'm not saying it's the hottest here in the UK, but, you know, someone said to me well, why has Italy got it then? They're in their 20s right now. So Italy shouldn't have it anymore. It should be petering out because the temperatures have risen.
Yeah, and when I mean a perfect example, I went to Aruba. I was sick as a dog, and I had a cold. But the second day I was in Aruba, the sun I sat on the beach and it just burnt that cold or whatever I had right out of my system. It was gone. You know, it just needs hot air. But now they haven't proved it 100% that this virus, if whatever it is susceptible to that. If you know, it will go away if the warm weather comes. I don't know what their agenda is with that, but I now know that this is bullshit. They're screwing with our school systems. They're white vans around your area, and if you can't see it, just go to your local school. I guarantee you're going to see at some point in the next month these vans rolling up, because our schools don't start back up until April 20th, I think, is the date that they're saying right now.
Ours are withheld until further notice.
Yeah. Ours are scheduled to be April 20th, so they've got a month. What's the date today? I mean, it's the 7th. It's the you know, so they've got over a month.
You don't think it's some sort of Tartarian thing that they're going to try and use again?
I don't know. Hey, look, you know, if you look at these old pictures from the 1800s and the 1700s, you can see like the telephone antennas and stuff. They had some sort of intercommunication.
Yeah, those things, they were all along the side of the road, weren't they? I mean, they had some telecommunications then.
Yeah, they did. And these are old pictures I'm looking at. I mean, these are pictures not even from the early 1900s. This is earlier than that. I think it's from the 1700s.
You're talking of like, say, 1870, 1860, which then would be impossible because they've already got it when we're supposed to be just about finding it. But I do know one thing they did. One thing they did was they liked having the you know, like some parks, they had all the amusement things there. They liked all these things. They liked piers because they had all the electrics on there, so they said, and then people would come along and see them and then want electricity. So it might have been that a lot of people didn't have it just through choice. They didn't want it.
Yeah, well, look at Tesla. He had that thing all set up and ready to go. He had harnessed energy from the ground. That was his groundbreaking thing. And then, I don't know if they were Con Ed back then or whatever, GE, I think was in existence then, bought all the patent from him, and then that was it. You know, because there was no meter. Who's paying for this electricity? You know, so then they came in, and that's where we are now. You know, we have a meter outside in front of our house. We get clipped on every ounce of energy we use, and we have to pay for everything. You know, and that's
don't have anything with smart written in it. It's not smart. No. That smart meters, the whole lot. Just don't have it.
Yeah, well, that's all. The smart meters is I don't know. I mean, it makes them a lot easier for them now because they don't have to go to individually to a house and check your meters. But God knows what else it's doing too. I mean, there's different.
Well, they can turn it off at source, can't they? So they get another hold on the people. Whereas right now, you've got to go around to everybody's houses and turn it off.
Yeah, well, they got rid of that. They don't do that anymore. Now the smart meters are rolled in, and they're in every house, whether you like it or not. They installed it. I saw a video on one house that was destroyed because of one of these smart meters. It caught on fire, and the house burnt down. I haven't heard anything like that, but I don't know. You know, everybody was against these smart meters. I don't really know much about them. I mean, I don't know what else they're doing, but I do understand that, you know, if they can make it more convenient for the electric guy to, instead of coming in. I mean, the guy used to come into the house and read the meter. You know, that was, you know, it kind of was creepy having this weird guy come into your house, downstairs to the basement, you know, and reading your meter. You know, now they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, now you're just a number now, aren't you? Just a number.
No, absolutely. We're all just numbers, and we're all guinea pigs in this flat Earth here. God knows what they're doing. I have no idea, but I can
You
just end with
think
saying
it's
that.
5G. You think it's because they're trying to turn on 5G. But I just can't believe that they've got to go to the schools to do it. Like, what the?
Well, they're not going to. They can't do it on
Who wants to
buildings.
send their kid back to a school that's got a 5G tower on top of it working?
Well, that's the thing. Everything is all set up in the school already. Most of these schools have towers already. They've just got to go in there and change the hardware. That doesn't take very long. It's basically strip it out. It's like when
But
cable
why have
company
to do
comes
all
here.
this? Why bring down the economy to do it? There's something else they're doing. This might be part of it, and it's one reason they can say as an excuse. But something else is happening. What? So it's like five. It's not 5 people. It is supposed to be a few thousand. But and the scheme of how many people they are, it's a 0.1% of people that have got affected by it. They've closed the whole world down.
100 people died. That's it. Over an epidemic, over 100 people dying, and thousands are infected who we don't know of. We don't know where they are.
But we've had bird flu. We've had all these other things. They didn't do this.
We've had them all. They didn't even acknowledge. Did you even remember anything about swine flu? Do you realize how many people died from that? Over 30,000 people died from that. I didn't even hear anything about it.
Yeah, but that's the numbers they're giving us, isn't it? Those are the numbers that they have said. It could be nobody, or it could have been even more, and they covered that up too. We don't know, because you know what? Making my video today, we've got a few things. I'm just thinking, look, there's Prince William, he's an actor. Oh, look, there's Boris, he's an actor. Oh, look, there's Trump, he's an actor. All the actors are giving us the information.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're all. I mean, and that's how it's always been, because that's where, the people who, the powers to be, the people who run this entire world, who you'll never meet, there's their agenda. I don't know, it's very hard to figure out, but the screwed up thing about it is everything there is written. They've told everybody about everything that's going on right now. It's all in the movies. It's all in everything the politicians say sometimes. I mean, they are flattening the curve. I mean, that's their big statement with this carnivore. I mean, this coronavirus, flattening the curve. I mean, it's just such a joke. I can't believe how much they're mocking everybody, and nobody sees it. We're the only ones who see this.
I think a lot of people see it, but there's actually nowhere to go and report it.
They can't. Who are you going to report it to? Exactly. I mean,
there's no one to go to about this. So what? You ring up the company's vans. Well, what are they going to do about it? Well, should we try and ring up some government agency right now and tell them we're not? Well, they're not going to listen to us. Individually, we're nothing. Individually, I wrote to President Trump. He never wrote back to me.
Oh, yeah, right. Good luck with that. That's where we are. We are basically helpless when we see something like this in front of our school system. What are you going to do? You're going to call the company, you bitch at them. Big deal. They're just going to still continue what they're doing. Apparently, they were. If what's going on, what I think is going on, all of these people are signed a sheet of paper or something like that they can't say anything about what they're doing. And the police are definitely not going to do anything about it, because if anything, they'll be locking off the road, so they won't give you access to go in there to even go look. So that's why I've been trying to search around the area here. This kid found something. He found it in his area. They're going to be laying it out everywhere. I don't know about, where you are, but New York has got plenty of schools, and they're all over the place.
It is a bit strange that this school has all these trucks, these vans outside changing things over.
Yeah, well, again, it's just the hardware.
Can you imagine if we actually saw it? If we actually saw it happening, that's what they're trying to stop, because the last place you're going to go is the school, but this person saw it, so that's good.
Hey, well, look, you ask about why would they, bring us to our knees in the economy? What better way to confuse everybody? Because we have a very strong economy. When Trump came, and it was very strong. The Dow was going up. Everybody had jobs. Everybody was doing well. And what better way but to come up with a disease, to come up with the economy, which is affecting everybody. Every single person is being affected by this here. Everybody. There's not a single person out there who's not affected by this some way or another. And it's a perfect way to just confuse people and get them talking and arguing. And look what's happening to families right now.
Oh, yeah, no, I had my messages yesterday for my jobs. They said, sorry, we're bunking in for 3 months. Catch you later. And you're like,
yeah.
I've just been thrown out to the... It's like I'm the scrap that's been thrown out.
I know. It's the same with me, too. But
and it's not real. And the whole thing's not real.
I know. I mean, think about the families now that are locked in their house, annoyed that they're not making any money. Their kids are home, too, now, 24/7. So, I mean, it's just like, this is going to probably create divorces, I believe, in some cases or another. And I don't know how...
Somebody said to me on a thing, well, what happens when water runs out?
That'll be the final, that's it. You know, then you give us a water crisis, there's not a single person here who's prepared for that. That's when you'll get mayhem, and that's when you'll get riots, and that's what's, you know, if they do that, then that's really what's going to happen. Nobody's prepared with water. Even I have a very small supply of water. I don't really keep water. I don't like drinking that bottled water. I only drink it in the car when I'm driving because I don't have any other way.
We've been told for months to get ready for this, but none of us believed it. I didn't feel it was coming, like, through this. But then, as I started to watch posts, I was thinking, I watched one and it was saying basically they'll bring in all the money, you know, changing the money, the whole thing. It's going to be done this way. It's not going to be done through the courts or the politics. It's going to be done through a virus.
Yeah, well, it'll work. Yeah, they can do it if they want to. Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. You know, with a virus, that's with something unlike this that nobody's ever seen before, ever in the history of the country, basically. You know, bring everybody down to their knees where they're fighting over toilet paper and paper towels, and they just closed Costco down, I think, which is a big box store here because they were fighting over toilet paper.
Do you know, I wish I could say to people, because you have to have this air of caution, don't you, just in case it is real. But I just say to people, get on with your lives as best as possible. Don't worry about the rest of it. Just get on with your life.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. And unfortunately, when there's no money and there's nothing open, and they've pretty much locked everything down. You can get takeout here. If you go to a restaurant, they'll make you takeout. You can pretty much get takeout on, I think, every restaurant. But some of them just aren't going to stay open.
They want us to carry on, but instead of going to the shops, we're ordering everything online.
Yeah, go order online and go back home and lock your doors. Stay home. They're keeping
and then
all of us home for a reason.
It puts to put, you know, like Boris was talking about putting people together, but in the next breath he was going, there's lots of elderly people who are not very well, so stay away from your family. And I'm thinking, well, what's he really saying?
Yeah, well, it's the elderly people that are even more scared. I mean, especially the ones that are in, well, some of them, the ones that are in nursing homes are not in the best of shape to begin with anyway, but, you know, anybody elderly over the age of 80 is paranoid. Did I bring this up yesterday to you? I don't know if I had time. I was walking down the sidewalk the other day, coming back from a store, and this elderly couple, probably in their 80s, 85 years old, we have narrow sidewalks, you know, just barely enough for two people to pass by each other, and they stopped. When they looked at me, they stopped. And they kind of moved away from me because they thought maybe I would have the virus. They didn't want to get sick.
You needed to have gone.
Yeah, oh, forget it. That would have just caused a riot. They would have ran like little ants.
I know, my kids made a joke of it yesterday. They just said something, you know, like, I can't cuddle you because of the virus. And then, well, they said something else, and I'm like, what? And they said, only kidding. Only kidding. And then we did toe taps, you know, we did a joke. Ding, ding. But it's not really funny, is it? We had to do that because nobody knows. I mean, my family, my son just didn't know what to say or do. He feels his job's on the line as well, you know. But I was like, I just got smacked.
The last I heard of the news, and this is when I just basically turned it off. I just couldn't watch it anymore, and I usually don't, but this is such an interesting time that we live in right now.
Because they've been ramping it for months, haven't they? If you watch the news, it's just death, war, death, politics, death.
It's either that or they're there talking about Trump. I mean, that's why I just
Oh
can't
God,
stand
he's
it.
everywhere. I mean, this is what Americans think we run everything, but we think Trump runs everything because he's always all over our telly.
Yeah, well, that's it, and he's all over ours too, basically. And but not anymore. Now it's this, so it's difficult not to turn on the news.
Well,
And
we've
fall
got
into
those
that.
daily meetups when they're going to tell us how coronavirus is going on, you know, like the White House ones. So we've got something like that happening now where Boris is going to come out or his people on
Okay.
a daily basis to talk about it.
All right, and that's the, yeah, and then they're gonna do. They don't really. We don't have anything like that. They just basically every day they just give us an update on what's going on. You know, nothing important. Local news stations and stuff like that. Oh, they just reported somebody else sick here. Somebody died in Long Island just a couple of days ago. Who knows who this guy is? You know, they don't say he's 85 years old. They don't say he has any ailing problems and he was probably half dead to begin with anyway. They don't say any of that stuff. They just said white male dead in Long Island. So you know, it's so ridiculous. You know, once you see through this nonsense, you know, and you know, and stay awake and make sure that you're looking.
Do you think we're do you think our bloodline is from the Tartarian people or something? Because we just see things so differently, don't we? You know.
Oh yeah. No, it could be. I mean, you know, I know there were ancient civilizations, and I know they're destroying it. Anything they find, they're going to destroy. There was I saw another video which was interesting about burning. They had weird rock, and I see that here too, where it almost looks like the rocks have melted in a way. What the scientists tell you what that is. And it sounds, you know, it sounds scientifical, but it really isn't. That when we were covered with the, you know, with the Ice Age, a mile high of whatever cut basically New York City. That's what they're saying. And then I learned that the Palisades, which are these big hills in the Hudson River, were formed through ice glaciers. Now, if you look at some of the rocks that are down in New York City, some of them are from Bear Mountain. Now, Bear Mountain's about 100 miles north of New York City. And the ones that are in Central Park are from Bear Mountain, because I recognize those. We go to that park a lot. That's where I go fishing. And, you know, so it does make sense, but it also looks weird. It doesn't look like a glacier actually created it. It looks like something else created it. But they're weird. A lot of weird rock formations around here in New York that people just don't pay attention to. Why would they? I never did. You know, why would I look at a rock? Who cares? Great. Beautiful. And all you know is that it's 1 billion years old, right? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's 1 billion years old, my ass. We've been lied to about everything. But yeah, you know, really just look for these things. Look around and open your eyes, and everybody out there, just look at the schools. Tell me you do not see these white trucks out there. If you don't see them now, they've got another 4 weeks to do it here in New York, so they've got plenty of time. It only takes them 1 day to do it. I'm sure it only takes a few hours to do.
It just makes me think that they're
15
linking us up to HARP or something like that. They're linking us up to something else. That's what they're doing. Calling it 5G.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would want anything more powerful than what we have right now. My internet's fine. I don't need anything else, okay? It's just fine. I got fast internet at home. I download videos in 2 seconds if I upload a video that's, you know, 15 minutes long. That's fine with me. I don't need any other network that's going to fry myself. My phone already heats up. I told you about this thing. This thing heats up. Like right now, let's see. All right, it doesn't heat up when I'm on Hangouts, but it heats up if I'm talking to somebody on the phone. And they've been doing that ever since I got a cell phone back in 1999. So I don't know what that was all about.
No, we've been going for 33 minutes, 44 seconds.
33. Actually, that would be a great time to call it. Let's call it a 33. What the hell?
Okay, for this recording, because it was I've nabbed him while he's out. Thank you, on the phone.
Hey, no problem, Karen. I had a great time with you guys last night too. That was a nice feed. I like that continental conversation. That was good.
Thank you, Cece. Cece, we'll say goodbye when I've pressed the button. But for the channel, to everyone, thank you, Cece.
All right,
to you.
thanks for listening. My pleasure, Karen. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, darling. Well, bye for the hangout.
Okay, the hangout. Quite okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to.